Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? Hope you guys had a great day today. Well, my day, I put on one hell of a performance today. One hell of a performance. But I'll talk more about that when we get into the um, the recaps. But I waddled in shit this morning and I came out smelling like a rose. So it was like one hell of a day for me. But it made me think about this quote. And I kind of paraphrased it like hundreds of other people have done to kind of fit what they want. But it goes, if you can't change a situation in the market, change your perception of it. Most of your stress comes from responding to how you perceive it, not the reality of what it is. A lot of people perceive the market as this hostile place where big money is constantly trying to break us. And that's not it. But that's everybody's perception. Either they've been told that, and then they feel that. What our job is to figure out what big money's doing and ride their coattails. Because one big money guy is taking money from another big money guy. Everybody's not making money. So, we just need to find out, be on the side of the ones that's actually making money, and we can follow them. And all we do is our process, our strategies is designed to, help us be on the right side of these trades. But we can't perceive the market as being this hostile place. The market, to me, I perceive it as an ATM. And just like any ATM you go to, you've got to pay a fee. Unless you go to the one that's part of your bank, you typically don't. They get that fee other ways and you don't even know it. But let's say you had to go to an ATM at a gas station, you're traveling, you need some cash, or you're out, out of your network. I know in Vegas, I paid like $5 or $6 to get money out of an ATM. So, but you're okay with that because you're getting your money, you're getting what you want. In the market, I look at it as an ATM. Yeah, I have to pay a fee every now and then to get my money out, but it's worth it. So it's all how I perceive it. And then it even comes down to your trades, the trades that you take, how you perceive the situation that you're in your trade. You could see it as, damn, I'm underwater. And you start stressing out because you don't want to lose, and you make bad decisions. It's all about taking a step back, making sure you see that what you see or what you perceive is actually what's happening, and then you can make your decisions accordingly. It's just the bottom line. It's not difficult to do. It's difficult to do, but once we get it under control and once we get the hang of it, it kind of becomes second nature. So remember this when we get to the trade recap. I'm going to kind of refer back to it as we go. But the market today pretty much did what I expected to do, just the opposite way. I expected it to come down and start trying to test the 20-day. But what I expected it to do was early come down and then get bought up toward the end of the day. So this candle is just the opposite of what I thought it would be. It actually went up, opened up, and not opened over, but traded over the 5-day at the open, and then it pulled back and it closed weak. So it did just the opposite. I was expecting a day like this where we opened below, came down and tested it, and then got bought up. But just got the inverse. That's why even though the market may go in your direction, it may not go there exactly when you expect it to, or right off the bat. it may have to do some movement, and then it eventually gets there. The question is, if you're trading it, are you able to manage that? All right, so and that's going to segue us into the next trades I took. But for tomorrow, I'm looking for it to potentially come down and retest this support. Now, it can come down and test this tonight and then start bouncing. And then when we wake up in the morning, it's at the open, we're starting to push back up to the, this ascending resistance. But right now, technically, based on what I see, I'm expecting it to pull in some more. So right now, that's what I see. Any geopolitical or economic stuff that comes out overnight could have a resounding effect on this. But if nothing happens, that's kind of what I'm looking at. All right, so coin. Here's the first example. If you look at this, and yeah, I had several people send me messages saying, see, this is why I don't trade the 5-minute opening range. It doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Instead of listening and trying to understand the whole thing, you quick to pass judgment. So your perception is off. What happened on this had nothing to do with the setup. It had to do with the dumbass person trading it should never have taken the trade. Because I was working on 2 hours sleep. I wasn't locked in. And when I took this trade, I didn't even look at the Thinkorswim chart that I'm supposed to look at and verify the 60-minute chart that it's actually a window of profit, that there's some profit to be made on this. If there's no profit window, there's no setup. And there was no setup. So the trade didn't work because the dumbass trader, me, didn't follow the process. And here's what I mean. I'm going to show you the 60-minute chart here. All right, so this is the 60-minute chart. This is Thursday. This is the first candle. Here is the no, I'm sorry. This is overnight. This is the first candle for the day right here. I'm off. Look at when I bought it. I bought it at 263.85. I bought it into all of this stuff on the 60-minute chart. There's no way I should have bought this into all of that resistance, because all it does is it tests all of this, it gets rejected and comes back down to earth. And then we start, actually trading. So it wasn't the strategy, it was the trader. It was the executor. And I didn't execute worth the crap. So you want to look at a beautiful stock here. Here's one. I didn't put PTO in on my watch list. It very well could have been on there. The problem was I didn't get into the community until it was after 9 o'clock, or maybe right at 9. So I didn't have time to really do anything. But definitely PTON would have been on my watch. It has been on my watch. But really nice move. This is a killer. This thing never made a lower low once it took off the rest of the day. Never did. Beautiful, beautiful trade. And some of you got it. But this is what I'm talking about. It's a matter of It's a matter of trading the right stocks and not trading the ones that don't set up, don't technically set up. is what it boils down to. So that's what happened on coin. And then on top of that, I miscalculated my stop. I was wanting it to be $1.50, and I ended up making it $2.50. You know, or whatever the case was, I did not calculate it right. All of this had to do with me trying to trade on 2 hours sleep, which I shouldn't have done. That was a big, major rule of engagement I broke. I just felt the pressure of being in front of everybody and trying to, make something out of nothing. And like I said, I waddled in shit all morning. Next trade I took was GME. And this is one of those stocks that just plays games. It plays ridiculous games. Now, if you want to talk about a hostile environment, GME, AMC, these types of stocks, I typically don't trade. But because GME reported earnings, I put it on my watch. I felt it would be a better opportunity than normal. Because normally if I trade these, it would be pre-market before all the bullshit starts. But I got in, and man, if I wanted to hit the top, I couldn't do it. The high of this candle is 263. No, the high of this candle is 188.20. Guess what my entry is? 188.20. I top ticked this damn thing. And once I got in, the bottom fell out. So I just kind of stopped watching it for a minute. And because I assumed it would pull back and bounce and all of this, I got sidetracked. I started and answered somebody's question, and then I brought up a chart that somebody asked me about, and we looked at it and all of that. By the time I came back to this, I had lost the trade. I mean, it was gone. And so at that point, I could have panicked out and taken a big loss. I don't even know. One of the key things is I don't watch my P&L. If you watch your P&L when you trade, God help you. Because it will cause you to make some dumb decisions. And what I did was, I was like, okay, I had to take a minute. I had to calm down for a minute. Zoom out. What is this thing doing? All right, what is it doing? Here we had a pullback, made a higher low. I was like, okay, let's see what this does. If it confirms losing all of this, I probably need to take it off. It came close to stopping me out. It didn't quite get there. I mean, it was really close. I believe if I had my order 5 cents below here, it would have hit it and taken off. But it never hit it. It actually made a higher low. So once it did that, everything kind of fell into place. Everything came into perspective. That as long as we keep making higher lows, we're probably going to recover. And it's going to take some time to work itself through this. And the next major hurdle would be the opening range high. And then the 20-day, which this is the 20-day moving average. So, and I missed, let me go back and talk about the entry. The entry was wrong on this. Okay, it was dead wrong. There's no way, if I'm going to wait for confirmation for this, why not wait for confirmation of taking the 20 out? Because it didn't make the move until it took this out, right? Look at it. This is why I talk about confirmation so much. I waited patiently through all of this, but then I just neglected the 20-day. Why? I wasn't locked in. I wasn't paying attention. So the entry was bad on this to start with. And so, fast forward to this. Once we started getting up, my first target was around 194, which was where I would have got, taken profit on the way up to it when I got in here. But I had to change it to 192. Really didn't need to because it hit 194. But I changed it to 192 and it finally hit that target. Went up to 194, had a pullback, 196. Had some nice slippage on these, on this one. 7 cents and then 10 cents on this one. So my final target on this thing was going to be red to green. And then if it set up off of red to green and we could confirm it, I would have taken another trade on this. But we never could confirm it. We tried. So here we pushed up. We never did make a higher high. This actually was the same price as this. It pulled back just like I thought it would to red to green. Here's a candle. We made a higher high. So I'm waiting for it to confirm this. It never did confirm. And you can see what happens. So later in the day, it's all about confirmation. I need to wait for it. I'm not going to anticipate it because that's when you start giving money back. If I wait for confirmation, I've got a really tight stop here, which is okay for the afternoon trades. Morning trades, tight stops are not good. Afternoon tight stops are great. And that's all I got to say about that. So, swimming in shit, coming out smelling like a rose. And it's all because of how I perceived it. There were some that perceived this as pure luck. But if you sit back and you watch, you look at the chart, look at the price action, there's nothing about luck that made this happen. It was all technical analysis. The stock technically continued in a trend. If it broke down and I still held it and it turned around and went, then that would be luck. The stock never broke down in terms of trend. And that's the perception you've got to have. So everything turned out. Again, it's all about how you perceive it. If you perceive it in a negative way, you're going to make negative decisions. And it's going to hurt you. If you perceive it in a positive way, you'll make positive decisions. And you're going to come out on the smelling like a rose. So today ended up, after the lawsuit, this was too much. It should have been $300, but it was a $500 loss, all because I put my stop in $1 too much. I miscalculated it $1. And then this one, we made $1,500 on it. Just being patient, reading the chart, reading the technical analysis, trusting in the levels, trusting in it. If it breaks down, get out of it. Look, we didn't make a lower low the rest of the day. Look at it. So that's that. Luck to me is a product of skill and preparation. So if you want to say I got lucky, it was based on skill, understanding, how to read a chart and understand the technical analysis and price action. Bottom line. So you guys have a great night. I will catch you later.